Game Closet. My name's Jimmy.
I'm Bradley.
And today we are taking a look at Rurik Dawn of Kiev. Now this was a Kickstarter just recently fulfilled, and we are excited to show this game off to you today. It looks great on the table.
It looks really good on the table.
The first thing that you'll notice about this whole game are the components. It looks amazing throughout, and we'll get into that, I'm sure. But at the very beginning of our video, we want to give you our rating.
Yep.
So in every one of our videos, we do a buy it, play it, hate it rating. So green means go buy this game and add it to your collection. White means maybe you wouldn't buy it, but you would definitely play it. And then red means don't buy it and don't play it.
Yeah. Get it out of here. We don't like it.
We don't like that mess.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to give you our rating right now, and then at the end, we'll talk about why we gave it that rating,
yes.
right?
Yep.
So here we go. On the mark, get set, go.
Green. Two greens. Two greens.
So buy it, buy it.
Yeah, buy it, buy it.
Buy this game?
It's a great game.
It's a great game.
Yeah, it's a great game. I think, first of all, like you said, it's got great art.
I would totally agree on the artwork. The art for this game is totally unique. It feels like an old painting from like years and years ago. The style is not this new modern kind of feel of fantasy war type games, but this feels so classic almost is the word. Classic art that is just incredible. The colors, the depth, it's amazing.
It's very much oil painting on a canvas.
Yes.
Kind of, and even the card stock that they use is even that way too. So the miniatures are good.
Oh my goodness.
They're in such good shape. And as we I think already have in a video, the box is kind of all separate, and so the storage is super efficient. It's very efficient storage. And it just, I don't know, that's great. It's all like the box is pretty big, but it all very simply goes back in. You're not having to guess what goes where. It just fits.
They even give you a little paper that tells you how it fits.
That's
back
awesome.
in there.
That's great.
And then this is actually useful not just for storage, but during the game. Like all of my pieces have a spot, and so I keep them right here. It's really, really nice. I love everything. Even these little pieces are so nice. These could have just been tokens, wooden tokens. I mean, cardboard tokens, but it's super nice. They have these are extra. But you could upgrade to these nice metal coins.
The metal coins.
They just look good. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
So component-wise, everything you get, you're going to be incredibly proud of. And Piecekeeper Games, I can tell they put a lot of love just into the components that come with this.
Yep. And I think that I've played auction games before, but this is the first one that I've played that in the beginning, it takes a turn or two for it to really matter. But by the end of the game, that's all there is, and I love that. It's different. It's great.
I totally agree. So they are claiming that this is a brand new mechanism, and I don't know if I've done anything like this before. So they're probably right. So in this game, it's called auction programming. So every person has these little meeples that have numbers on them, and the basic idea is that the higher the number, the better the ability that you're going to get. So if you want to move 4 troops and you bid, let's say that you bid a 2, you would go right at the top of the board. But then somebody else could come along, and if they bid higher than you, then they're going to bump you down, boof. And then and now I'm going to go down a level. So not only he gets the 4 moves now, and I'm going to get the 2. And so that's the basic idea, that you're going to kind of slide in. If somebody else bid a 2, they're going to go underneath me. But if somebody came along and bid a 5, another player, then they could go all the way up at the top, and then he goes down. And so my 2 that I bid at the beginning could go all the way down. And now instead of 4 moves, I'm only going to get to move 1 guy. So that's the basic idea of how that works. But then when it comes to actually playing it out on the board, and this is the programming side, so the auction side, now the programming is now the lower numbers get to go first. And so although, maybe I did the fight action, maybe I bid the lowest, but now I get to go first. So I might kill off a dude that you're going to use to move to go do something else. And so to see the auction play out and then the programming to take place, it's a really neat mechanism of planning it and then doing it. I really, really like that.
Yeah, an auction with strategy seems really difficult to do, but they've made it really easy. And as an auction, you can add, say somebody at the table adds 5 at the top. Well, you could take your 5 and add a couple of coins to it, such as the American way, and just get out on top. You're out on top now.
Bump them down now.
Just bump them down now. And I love that. Like it adds
really
so
neat.
much strategy to every little aspect of the game, even in the auction. So yeah, I love that.
So the what can you do? What are you auctioning off and what are you programming? So the basic idea is that there's a map out on the board and you are trying to do a number of different things. You are trying to tax the different locations. You're trying to build these buildings that give you special bonuses, and you're trying to attack your opponents. And so there's a couple different ways that the attacking works. It's really simple. I just move into a location, and if I have a sword, I kill something and then I remove it from the board. But if I remove an opponent's, then I have to flip over one of these cards, and if there's a symbol on it, then one of my guys can actually die in the process of doing that. So then I would have to remove them from the board. But then they also have these non-player characters here that I could kill them instead, and then you kind of turn it over and you reveal something that you're going to get by killing this guy. If it's a stone or a fish or a coin, I guess you stab them and a fish falls out. I don't know. But whatever happens, you kind of do that. So there's two different ways. You can either attack an opponent or attack one of these non-playing people, and that's cool. And then there's this whole other track over here that has to do with what you are accomplishing out on the board. So are you attacking people? Then you move up the attack track. Are you owning different regions? Then you're moving up that. Are you owning adjacent regions? Or are you collecting goods and putting them onto your boat? And so there's a whole little boat aspect that you're trying to manage, kind of resource management thing where you have these resources, and then that helps you move up each one of these tracks. And then at the end of the game, I forgot to mention that you also have kind of secret goals that you're trying to accomplish.
That's right.
And so here's something: occupy the most regions with your troops. I'm going to get 2 points for that at the end of the game.
And I don't know that you're doing that.
Yeah, exactly. So you kind of don't know maybe why I'm trying to get all these goods or conquer this whole area of the board. And then there's also in-game things where during the game you could say, hey, I've got this thing accomplished right now. I've got 3 of these buildings in a row. Ta-da! I'm going to take that and score some victory points as we go along. So there's a lot to keep going, but it's really not a complicated game. No. This is not a heavy Euro. This is definitely medium weight with good strategy. See how it plays out.
Yeah, I think so. I think if I had to give any negatives, it would be because it's not a meatier game, you would expect there to be some extra iconography as far as what I'm doing when. That's not a deal breaker for me because you do have the cheat card, the player aids. So that's not a deal breaker, obviously. Victory point tracker. And that's another thing. That's just an aesthetic. It's not adding anything into the game. It's just, okay, the game's over. Let's add our points up. And you're not keeping track of that anywhere except on your phone or on a piece of paper.
And up in your head.
Up in your head, counting on the fingers. It would have been cool to also have kind of a player mat maybe around your boat or somewhere.
Some other way.
Yeah, to keep up points, because they have these wax seals everywhere it looks cool and on the cards and you can keep up with your points. But then that's it. That's the end of the symbols. It ends there on the board or on the card.
I hadn't thought of that. There's a couple extra modes, variants that you can do where you can change the resources that are placed out here. There's a solo variant to the game, so if you want to play this solo, you can, and you might find some more depth or different ways to play the game. So I like that they've included that in the box as well.
Yeah, but it's a great game. I think it's medium. To me, it's a medium weight in that you have a lot of things to keep up with, and it doesn't take too long. I think we played it in an hour, maybe less than that, and we were learning it. So I feel like that's great as well.
Yeah, I totally recommend it. It's a breath of fresh air. It feels new and different, and it looks great. Not complicated. I totally recommend this game. You need to pick it up. I don't know how deep the print run was on this, so if you're interested in getting this, I would grab a copy before it's gone. And I don't have any incentive there to tell you that, other than I just don't want you to miss this game. I think it's that good.
Rurik Dawn of Kiev.
Go get it.
Go get it.